and I will talk to myself until someone appears. I have an audience, and I hope I can have an audience with the forgotten ones. Austin. Yes. I will just sip tea until someone comes along. I've got a pretty hard oh, Texas 18 is here. Hello, Texas 18. Chris, that's right, isn't it? I've met quite a few people since I've been doing these broadcasts, and I do know some of their Christian names, and I just hope I don't get them mixed up. Hey there. It is Chris, isn't it? I haven't made him boo-boo. Yes, yes, Chris. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, I'm just waiting for a little bit more of an audience because I've got a shout out to do, and I don't normally do this, but I met a gentleman through one of my broadcasts, and he, I couldn't figure out why I couldn't put a YouTube link on my comments, in my comments section on my profile page, but there's a particular way you have to go about it, and he and I spent 2 hours talking over Skype. And after we clandestinely exchanged Skype contacts, and it took me about an hour to figure it out. He's an IT professional. He'd never done it before, but he found out how to do it, and I'm forever thankful for him. And I think it's something not many people know how to do. There was a post for a YouTube link by the forgotten ones, Austin. But it just disappeared into cyberspace because he doesn't know how to do it properly either. And I'm thinking I might make a YouTube video about it because I think it's something that many, or if not most, don't know how to do. So I'm hoping the forgotten ones, Austin, will be here so I can. A new person is watching. Hello, new person. Yes, I'm a bit early this evening. It's 9:41 p.m. here on Tuesday night. I usually go on about, broadcast about 10 or a bit later. Bruno S is here. Hello, Bruno S. Thank you for watching. Yes. Yeah, what was I saying? Oh, yes. For those new who just came on to my broadcast, I'm NGBN is watching. Hello, NGBN, and welcome. Thank you for watching. I know America is a very big place, and I am going to show you a website address to this gentleman's business. He works from home. He is an IT professional. He lives in Stonefort, Illinois. But anyhow, we think it's a big world, but sometimes it turns out to be a very small world. But doing these broadcasts has proved to be very beneficial, and in many ways. I've met a lot of new people, and a couple I've become friends with that I talk with on Skype, and I like that. I like that a lot, and I'm quite happy to talk to anyone on Skype. Via Skype. I like to talk one-on-one, face-to-face. Actually, I did a broadcast earlier this afternoon, and I have a young Skype friend who lives in California, and she's 16 years of age, and she happened to see one of my broadcasts, and that's how we became friends. It's strange, isn't it? How things can happen. It's as if they happen for a reason. Well, everything does happen for a reason. There's no doubt about that. And we exchanged Skype contacts, and I talked to as regularly as I can, but there's a big time difference, so I don't always get a chance. But she's a lovely young lady, and very down to earth. And I hadn't heard from her for a couple of days, and I left a message for her saying that I hoped that she was all right, and it turned out she wasn't. Evidently, 2 days ago, she'd gone into town with her grandmother, into the chemist, and she just stepped outside, and 2 blokes pulled up in a vehicle and tried to abduct her. And I asked her, when she told me that, if she'd like to talk about it, and she did, because during the earlier broadcast, she asked me could I contact her via Skype, so she obviously wanted to talk about it, and she did, and I let her talk about it. And you could tell that it was a harrowing experience for her. It would be a harrowing experience for anyone, particularly a 16-year-old girl. And her eyes welled with tears, and she was trembling. And so, yes, it obviously had a very profound impact on her. But I was happy to let her talk about it, because it's always good to talk about things like this. It was virtually like out of Taken, with Liam Neeson, where his daughter and her girlfriend got taken. And it just shows you how easily these things can happen, and they happen all over the world. You know, most people can go missing of their own choosing. Kevin P is watching. Hello, Kevin P, and welcome. You know, we get a lot of missing people here in Australia, and I think a lot of them do so because they want to go missing, but some of them do get taken. They do. And just like it was in America just, probably a couple of years ago. Holoman Ishalt is watching. Hello there, a little bit of a tongue twister, but welcome. Thank you for watching. Yes, that it happens worldwide, and it can happen so easily. You know, a young girl standing on a street and can easily be grabbed by some of these predators, these insidious individuals. And yes, so I was glad that I got a chance to talk to her about it, and she let her get it out of her system a bit. But she has got other confidants. Kevin P. That's like PewDiePie, isn't it? That's what PewDiePie does. I don't watch PewDiePie on YouTube. He's the #1 YouTube channel. He's got something like 37 million subscribers. Making millions he is, but he puts a lot of work into his channel. He's not the only one who's making millions, but they're a bit few and far between. Thank you for that, Kevin P. I will return the favour as soon as I finish this broadcast. I don't plan to be on for that long, but I always say this and end up talking for an hour or more. But I've got to do something later tonight. I've got to talk to someone who I haven't heard from for a few days there, and I'm a little bit concerned about him. Because he lives alone, he lives in Virginia, and we often talk on Skype, but I haven't been able to contact him. So yes, yes, it was a terrible experience for this young girl. But she's got a couple of confidants. She's got a grandmother who sounds like a real cool woman, and she's got a couple of teachers too. So that's good. That's very good for her. And I'm happy to say that the essay I corrected her grammar on, she was over the moon with. She loved the change. She thought it was 1,000,000 times better than her writing, but this time in the year it would be cold in Europe, but I'm not in Europe, I'm in Australia, and here it's very hot. Because it's summer here in Australia. I know it's winter time in the United States, and I know that like New York and New York State and that, they've been having a big problem with snow, but they had that problem last year too. From Africa. Well, that's wonderful, from Africa. I haven't had anyone from Africa before. Ah, that's terrific. Just shows you, doesn't it? As I said, it's a big world, but it can be also a very small world. Yes. Africa. It must be, what's the weather like in Africa now? Do you actually have a winter in Africa? I suppose you do. Of course you do. Of course you got Mount Kilimanjaro, and it's got snow in it. Yes, I would imagine so in Florida. I believe it's one of the hottest wet and dry season. Yes, we have a wet and dry season here in Australia. We have the wet season way up north, and it has a flow-on effect down here on the coast, anywhere along the coast. Sometimes here where I live it'll rain, it can rain for 3 weeks without stop. I like the rain, but too much rain can be too much. It's good for the garden, but it makes weeding the gardens easier after the rain stops. Yes, wet and dry season. But of course it would get cold in Africa, I would imagine, and I don't know what the... Thank you very much. I will return the favour when I finish this broadcast. Yeah, I know there's snow on Mount Kilimanjaro. It depends. Yeah, I suppose it does. I suppose it's because Africa's very big. It's a very big continent. You have winter in South Africa. Is it a bad winter? Or is it just a mild winter? It's very mild here on the coast, although it can get very cold at night. It can get down to freezing. But out in the bush, out in the country, it can get really cold. -10, -11, -12 at times. I know, I've camped out in it. Mild winter during May. Thank you. Shimano 88SS is watching. Hello and welcome. And Ancient Heritage is here. Hello, Ancient Heritage. Nigeria. Thank you. Hello, sir. You're very respectful. Ancient Heritage. Yeah, hi to you too. Shimano 88SS. I've often wondered if how long it take you all you folk to get these usernames, because sometimes you go to get a username for something and it keeps on taken. That's very good to hear. Yes, it's very good, because some young people these days, only the minority mind you, have not been raised that way. They wouldn't know a thank you or a please if it hit them in the face. I'm serious. You know, oh, was it? Was it, Chris? Well, sometimes you can get lucky. I can't remember what mine... I had a lot of trouble with something and I couldn't get a username on. I can't remember what it was. And it doesn't matter anyhow. Because whatever it was, I probably don't use anymore. Yes, like I was saying earlier, I'm going to give a shout out to someone. There's quite a few people here now, and as I said, I know America's a very big place. But there's a chap who lives in Stone Fort, Illinois, and his name is Adam Reifer, R-E-I-F-E-R, and he's an IT professional. And he was good enough to give me his Skype contact, and we spoke earlier this afternoon for about 2 hours, or near on 2 hours. And an hour of that time he spent showing me how you can put a YouTube link on the profile page in your comments. Because if you don't do it this way, it just goes off into cyberspace. Because I tried to put a link to a short YouTube video of mine, and it just kept going. Poof, poof, off it go. And I had a young chap here who goes under the name of The Forgotten Ones, Austin, and he tried to put a link because I got an email saying he had, but it wasn't there. So the same thing's happened. So I'm going to make a YouTube video and I'm going to explain how you do it. And oh, by the way, I don't know if you can see that. There you go. Where am I going? But that's his website, www.sicomputerworks.com. Doesn't matter if you type in lowercase or uppercase, you will get it, because I tried it. And that's his name, Adam Reifer, Stone Fort, Illinois. So if you've got a pen and paper handy, and you live somewhere in that area and you want an IT professional who doesn't charge an arm and a leg He only charges $50 for a call, and that's it. It doesn't matter if it takes him 10 minutes or 2 hours. It's a flat $50, which is far cheaper than my IT professional. He charged me $135 for the first hour, and then it was $25 for every 15 minutes after. That's true. But he knows his stuff, and when I'm desperate, I call my IT professional. Yes. Adam Reifer, a good bloke. Yeah. Anyone to do that out of the kindness of his own heart. Yeah, I'll show you again. Sure. I tell you what, the way he operates, he took. I gave him permission to take control of my laptop, and he showed me by taking control what to do. He could probably get himself a very good business just sitting doing things online. Right, there you go. Yeah, you notice how the picture changes? When you put something white up in front of something, it takes all the light. It reflects the light away. Yeah, but anyhow, I had to give a shout out to Adam because he's a terrific bloke. And, oh, Miss Lil Murder is here. Tiff, hello. Welcome back. What are we going to debate tonight, Tiff? No, oh, are you talking to me or to Tiff? Miss Lil Murder. I think that's an apt name too. She's a real fiery one, and I like that. I'd like that in it. I really enjoyed the broadcast we had. I'm fine, thank you very much. Yes, I'm doing good. Kevin P. What is that? Is that a sheep's head, is it? That's what it looks like. Yeah. Yes, Tiff, I left a comment on your profile page. Oh, it's a pug. Silly me. I don't know if you received or even had a look, but I left a comment on your... No, you don't. You only think you do. You might know more about some things, but in general knowledge, I know more than you. This is what she's like. Well, you'd know more about space engineering than I would. Ancient heritage. Whatever helps you sleep at night. I sleep pretty fine, thank you. I'll tell you something funny happened 2 nights ago. I actually fell out of bed. Thunk on the floor. It was 6 o'clock in the morning because I woke. Me falling on the floor woke my wife up. And what time is it over here? It's 9:56 p.m. Tuesday night. And she said, "Are you all right?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I'm okay." Then all of a sudden I got this most vicious cramp in my lower right leg. It was agonising, and I couldn't get up. It'd fade away, and I think, oh, I'll get up and then it'd come back. It must have hit me 4 or 5 times, and excruciating. Sometimes you can get those vicious cramps. 11:56 a.m. here in Sweden. I made a note of that actually. I like bananas, but because they're high in potassium, they don't agree with me. I must be somewhat allergic to potassium. See, I jot down all these times. I like to know the time differences. I'm making a little list, but I'm thinking of getting one of those clocks. I mentioned this before. AM. Okay, AM. Yeah. I'm thinking of getting one of those clocks, the world clocks, and so I can check out the times. Very confusing. Very confusing indeed. Oh, pardon me. Pardon me. All right, Tiff, here's something I'm going to challenge you with. I don't know if you have a YouTube channel, but if you did, do you know how to put a link to a video in the comment on your profile page on YouNow? No. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. And you know why I know? Because I've tried it several times and it just goes off into cyberspace. There's a special way to do it though. And this is what this gentleman I was talking about before you came in the broadcast, showed me how to do it. Now there's a special way, and I don't think many people know how to do it. Yeah, and I'm going to make a YouTube video about it. Go on, say something, Tiff. I'm waiting for it. No, there is. It's true, Tiff. There is a special way, because I have tried to post a link to one of my YouTube videos, and it just kept going. I pressed post, and it went off into cyberspace. Nothing at all. And another young fellow goes under the forgotten ones. He said, I got an email said he posted his link on my profile page here on YouNow, and it wasn't theirs, so it's just gone. So yes, I'll make that YouTube video about it and explain it. Oh, where do you live, Tiff? What state do you live in? California. Oh, you live in where Mini Mitten. Kevin, yes, I know you're in Florida. Yeah, you live in California, where Minnie Mittenland does, or Brittany. Yes, she and I have become friends on Skype. In California too. Tell me, you Californians, are you still suffering from a bad drought? I heard last year that you're having a severe water shortage in California. Because we have some very bad droughts here in Australia. We had a drought here about a decade ago, but it actually lasted 12 to 13 years in some areas. Yes, it was drastic. It was catastrophic for some farmers. Yes, it was on the news here in Australia late last year, and I'd heard it earlier too, that you're in the grip of a rather severe drought in California. What I'd like to know, I mean, you have the Great Lakes. I know it's quite a distance. I know they're up there near New York State on the border with Canada, but you have those Great Lakes up there. I mean, surely there'd be some way they could build massive pipelines down from the Great Lakes. What is it, Lake Erie? That is the closest to New York State. In fact, I think it even goes across the border of New York State, in New York State. So, couldn't they build a massive pipeline? I mean, these lakes are enormous. And very deep too, I believe. What are there? 5 Great Lakes, aren't there? Lake Ontario, Lake Superior, Lake Erie, Flint, Michigan. What's going on in Flint, Michigan? Tiff? Because I've not heard anything about it. I watch the news every night now. 5 Great Lakes, thank you. Yeah. Oh, they have no water. Well, that's what it was like in some of the towns here during that big drought. They completely ran out of water. They were shipping water in. It can be life in the country can be very hard at times. Right. Okay. Yeah, that's what it was like. Yeah. Excuse me, I'll have a sip of tea. Chris, Texas 18, has just asked Tiff, was the water contaminated? Yes. You can't get a more positive answer than that, can you? Yes. I'll bear with you, Chris. No problems at all. I'm an easygoing sort of dude. Oh, the lead pipes. Nasty, nasty stuff. Yes, we have some problems here during the hot weather with some water supplies. They get infected with green algae, and it's very toxic. And they're always putting signs up: don't swim in the water, don't drink the water, because it goes through filtration systems and that, and it's chlorinated and that, and it's okay. But to drink it straight out of the lake or the dam, you're asking for trouble. Yeah, sad, isn't it? And look have you seen the news just recently about this new virus that's causing all these birth deformities? Oh, it's so sad to see little children. Yeah. So very, very sad. And it's passed on by mosquitoes. I caught a fever from mosquitoes in here. It's called Ross River fever, and it comes back like malaria. Comes and goes, and it affects you like a bad case of the flu. Yeah. Yes, that first we had the Ebola virus some time ago, and it killed a lot of people. But that's not unusual in some parts of the country, some parts of the world. Yes, but they're urging all Australians to go overseas to make sure you take insect repellent with you, and they're urging pregnant women not to go overseas because to these certain countries, because it's slowly spreading. It's up in Papua New Guinea, which is just up north from us, at the top end of Australia, and in Indonesia. And there have been a couple of cases here in Australia. I can't think what it's called. Zert, something. I'm not sure. It's only a 4-letter word, but yeah, it's a nasty 4-letter word, and there is no vaccine for it at the moment. Good night, guys. Yes, good night, Shimano 88SS. Good night to you. I hope you sleep well. You're not going to have much sleep, are you? Yeah, but maybe you can get by with only a few hours sleep. Sherman. Oh. No, that Samantha 789. Hi. Hi, Samantha 789. Well, I've got a few more viewers at the moment, so maybe I'll put this up again. This is a shout out to a chap who showed me how to share my YouTube links on my profile page. And he lives in, what did I say it was? Stonefort, Illinois. And he's got a business. So there you go. As I said, I don't do shout outs very often, but Adam deserved it after all the time he spent with me showing me how to do it. Yeah, it's so simple. But it always is once you know how, isn't it? But I just didn't have a clue what was going on. I just didn't have a clue why my links were disappearing. And it's a funny video. Well, I didn't think it was funny at the time, but I got hit on the head by a mud bird nest when I was about to record a YouTube video. Yeah, hey, BDLHA Balsia. Yeah, thank you for watching. Welcome to the broadcast. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, there has to be life in other galaxies. I mean, there are millions of them. There has to be other life out there. You know, we can't be the only inhabited planet in this, in the cosmos. Absolutely, there's got to be millions of other planets. I don't understand what Samantha 789 means. Yes, that's true too. What definition of life? There's all different forms of life, from bacteria to viruses. Who looks like Marty from Back to the Future? Not me. Me look like Marty McFly? Well, I think that's kind of flattering, but I don't think I look like Marty McFly. I might look like Emmett, Dr. Emmett Brown. Yeah, the flux capacitor. Well, that's very interesting, ancient heritage, cryogenic sleep. Well, who knows? But it won't do them any good unless we can travel faster than the speed of light, or we can fold time in on itself and travel vast distances in space, like form wormholes. Then we're never going to get out of this galaxy, this solar system, really. It's just not going to happen. I know they're going to go to Mars, and it's going to take something like 6 months or so. And maybe they'll be in some sort of suspended animation, I don't know, but I don't think it's ever going to be like you see in the science fiction movies. Now, you'll have to be able to either travel faster than the speed of light, and evidently according to Einstein that's not possible, or you just simply have to, like Stephen Hawking says, that you fold space in on itself. It's as simple as folding a piece of paper. If you're here at one end and you want to get to another, you simply fold it. And suddenly you did a wormhole to something that could be thousands of light years away. It's the only way it's going to happen. Good for you. Hi. I'm back. Hi. Yeah. Now, I'm a fan of Stephen Hawking. I've read his book, A Brief History of Time, and it's a very interesting book. He's an absolute genius of a man. So if you want a good read, I can highly recommend that. It's a little complex, but he's all right. He's better than all right, Tiff. No, he's a great man. No Tiff, though. I don't know what you mean, Tiff. Oh. Yes, I often think about that. I often think, if we'll be able to travel the speed of light. Because then if you can travel the speed of light, then time ceases to exist. And but you require a lot of energy. That's why Einstein said it wasn't possible. E equals mc squared. Energy equals mass times the speed of light squared. As you approach the speed of light, you require more and more energy, and you become bigger and bigger. The craft will become bigger and bigger, and therefore it requires more energy. Yeah, I played sports when I was a little boy. Yeah, I played cricket and football, and I swim, and all sorts of sports. Used to throw the javelin, the discus, did a little track work, that sort of stuff. Yeah, stuff I couldn't do. Well, I could throw the javelin and the discus now. I wouldn't be able to run too far. But then I suppose it would depend what was after me. But good on you. Sport's good. I used to be a very keen golfer, but I was only ever an A-grade hacker. Are you talking to me, Tiff? You must be. I got two boys, one's 31 and one's 34. Yep. Well, I just answered you. They're two adult boys. See, that's perhaps how. Yeah, they did grow up fast, believe you me. I can't believe that my wife has been married on June 15th this year for 42 years. Time just gone so quickly. Yeah. Only in retrospect, but when you look back, you think, where have all the years gone? I can't believe I'll be 68 in about 4 weeks' time. I'm 68. What fascinates me? Oh, that's a good question. That is a very good question, actually. What fascinates me? I'll have to think about that. You would think it would come easy, but that's a hard question, even though it's a simple question, as oxymoronic as that may sound. I am fascinated by by the vastness of the cosmos, even our own solar system. I've always had a fascination for numbers because I've always had a mind for numbers. The special effects in today's movies absolutely fascinate me. I think they're so clever. Very good question, Tiff. Very good question indeed. What fascinates you? Oh, God. You're very witty, Tiff, you really are. Yes, well, it doesn't fascinate me. It's interesting. You know, there's a lot of smart people out there, and they use their intellect to do wrong. Yeah. But no, there are some very clever people out there. There's no doubt about that. Absolutely. Yeah, of course. I don't believe in right and wrong. I know there's right and wrong. Just like there's good and evil. Oh yes, there's definitely evil in this world. Pure evil. I take it you believe in right or wrong? And wrong? Right and wrong? Lyndon and others, I became a fan. Well, thank you very much. And as I always do, I will become a fan of yours. You're sceptical on that. Good morning from the UK. Well, good morning to you too. Is it still morning in the UK? I thought you're only 10 hours, we're only 10 hours ahead of us. Isn't it 12:15 in the afternoon there now? Oh, is it a 12:45? No, it might be a 12:45. But there's not much of the morning left, is there? Lyndon and others. No. I don't know how you can be sceptical about right and wrong, Tiff. What was it? Yeah, right and wrong. Yeah. I don't see the association. I don't see what's that got to do? Space and beyond, right and wrong. What's that got to do with space and beyond? A universal right and wrong. Well, here on planet Earth, we have right and we have wrong. If you murder someone, that's wrong. Well, there's a lot of wrongs. You know, we can wrong lots of ways. Why is what wrong? If you're going to ask me why murder is wrong, well, of course it's wrong. Well, there are people here, so people exist, so we have right and wrong, good and bad, young or old and in between. You're just talking hypothetically. That's all you're doing. They thought differently. If a tree falls in the forest and there's no one there to hear it, does it make a noise? Well, you see, we are all This is well, I suppose you could look at it that way. I suppose you can close the door as you enter a room, and what's outside doesn't exist anymore, but as soon as you open the door, it does. Interesting, very interesting. No, there are, you know, because we are just mere mortals, all us human beings, there of course there is right and there is wrong. What is the Schrodinger's cat theory? Hang on a minute, that sort of rings a bell. Please explain, Tiff. What? No, Lyndon. What is that? That Schrodinger's cat theory? I have heard of that. No, right and wrong's not a thought, it's also an action. I'm getting low on tea here, and it will be wrong if my mug is empty, because then I have to go and fill it to make it right. Okay, fair enough. Okay, I can understand that. We'll be back later. Okay, ancient heritage. Depends what sort of gas it is. I need to get working on the paper. Yes, well, if you're dealing with space technology, so on and so forth, yes, you must have work to do. The string theory. How long is a piece of string? Yes. Whew. But it's always good to have these interesting conversations and these comments, and it gives. No, I know it exists. I don't even have to think about it. I know it because there it is. I know it exists. It's tangible, and I can touch it. I can see it. I can hear it. Apron. No, you spelt. It's upon. Meant that too. No, they're not concepts at all. No, right and wrong exists. I'm not going to agree with any of this baloney that you're going on with. Let's change the subject then, Kevin. Change the subject. Kevin Perez knowledge. Can a person see or touch something that doesn't exist? No. If it doesn't exist, how can you see it and touch it? It's not there. Yeah, but space is there. There's a lot of black matter there, but space is there. But you can't touch it, certainly. But it's still there, you can see it. You know, the cosmos is mainly made up of black matter. And it's all energy. Energy waiting to be tapped into. It's true. I bet there are some beautiful night skies out in Texas, Chris. They think they can. They think they can. But no, they actually can't. No, but they think they can. You see things that are not there. It's like a mirage. I think everyone's seen a mirage. And but it's an illusion. It's a trick of the light. I don't know where in Texas you actually live, Chris, but I imagine that if you lived somewhere where it's a bit isolated and there are not many lights, the night sky must be a vision splendid at times. No, I didn't. I didn't eat a burger, no. No, I went up and I made a couple of pieces of toast and I put some Vegemite on them. I think you've all heard of Vegemite. It's night time where I am. Yes, Kevin. It's 10:24 in the PM. Yes, I'm sure you've all heard of Australian Vegemite. Typical Aussie. Well, thank you for that. Vegemite. I'm not a great fan of Vegemite. I do like it occasionally. But no, Chris, no, I didn't have a burger, but I would have dearly loved a burger, I can tell you. Hungry Jack's Big Whopper would have gone down a treat. Or even a vegan burger would have gone down all right. You guys and your thought. You know, Miss Little Murder talks in riddles sometimes. I don't know what she means. Marmite. Yeah, I've tried Marmite too. And it's totally different to Vegemite. I didn't like Marmite at all. But I've been eating Marmite since I was... Vegemite since I was a little boy. It's been around for a long time. But it's not Australian owned anymore. It's been taken over by Kraft, I think. No, it's a matter of taste. It really is. When President Obama visited Australia last year, he said that no, he would not eat Vegemite. He didn't like it. It's all a matter of taste. You know, I hate dark chocolate. I cannot tolerate the taste of dark chocolate. And I don't like coffee. My wife loves both. I'm a tea drinker, and I love milk chocolate. Pardon me. Yes, it is. Again, it's a matter of taste. I just haven't got the taste for it. And you know why? I mentioned this once before. It all dates back to my childhood. Our mother and father, I've got a brother and sister, used to give us children laxettes. They're to help with bowel movement. And they were dark chocolate. My brother and sister loved them. They nearly made me vomit. And that turned me off dark chocolate the rest of my life. White chocolate's nice. Yeah, I like white chocolate. Coffee, no. No. Yeah, I agree, Chris. Yeah, give me a block of Cadbury's milk chocolate. And unfortunately, I could probably knock it off in one sitting. You know, once I get a taste for it, I just can't stop at a couple of little bits. Racist chocolate haters. We're not racist chocolate haters at all. We have our preference. We have our preference. And that's what makes us all individuals, even though a lot of us like the same thing. But if we all like the same thing, wouldn't the world be boring? It'd be a boring place. I wouldn't want to live anymore if we all like the same stuff. It would be totally boring. I think I'd go and commit suicide. It would almost be an Orwellian reality. You know, that's from George Orwell. A peaceful place. If we all like the same things, do you think it'd be a peaceful place? No, I think we'd all end up... Well, no, we wouldn't, would we? We'd probably all get on pretty well, but I think it'd be very boring. I think there'd be mass suicide going on worldwide. So, it's the ennui of it all. The ennui. I can't stand it anymore. I've got to end it. Quick, Watson, the needle. Exactly. We'd have nothing to talk about at all. 1984, that's right, Lyndon. 1980. Have you read 1984? An Animal Farm? I've read both books. They're very interesting, very thought-provoking. I don't know. Yes, I agree, Lyndon. Yes, that they were fascinating books, but they're not for children to read because you really have to read them. I mean, really read 1984 and Animal Farm to get insight. Because what George Orwell was doing with those books was making political statements, but you wouldn't realise that if you were a child. You have to be a little bit more mature to read those books. I found so anyhow. Yes, it is. Yes. Absolutely. Oh yeah, I believe the Illuminati exists. It dates back thousands of years. Of course, conspiracy theorists will believe that the Illuminati have a lot to blame for everything that's going on in this world. They want to take over the world too. A bit like Google. But they want to take it over in a different form, don't they? Yes. Google's made no bones about it. They want to take over the world as far as social media and what have you. Oh, did you? Fair enough. But there is history of the Illuminati. But I suppose you could say there's history of God too in the Bible. But I think it's all. I think the Bible's a good read. I've read the Bible. I think it's a good read, mostly fiction. I think a lot has been lost in the translation because a lot of people back then didn't read, didn't write, and stories have been passed down, and I think a lot has been lost in the translation. 22 pages of the Bible. Is that what you're talking about, Chief? I haven't read the entire Bible. I've read a good portion of it. Yes, it's as I say, it's an interesting read, but not to be taken seriously, I don't think. I'm just waiting for these comments to come up. Yes, true. Yes, a lot of interesting thoughts and ideas. But you know, I remember, and Miss Little Murder will know, because I mentioned this before. I had the Seventh-day Adventists come on knocking on the door some time ago, and we got into a discussion that turned out to be a debate that turned out to be, as far as they were concerned, an argument. And I said, tell me, if Adam and Eve were the only two people on the face of the earth, and they agreed, and they had Cain and Abel, and Cain killed Abel, and Cain was banished to the land of Nod where he found his wife. Where did his wife come from? And you know what they said? There are other people on the planet. Now, only a minute ago, this person had told me that, yes, that's true, there was only Adam and Eve, and next thing, there are other people on the planet. Now, how could that be? Not possible. I'm a fiction writer, Lyndon. I write books of fiction with supernatural themes, although not all are supernatural themes. I agree, Tiff, you can't. No, because they're zealots. They're absolutes in their opinion, and you just, as I said before, Tiff, religion and politics. People are cool, yeah, as in cool mints. Well, see, that's confusing, isn't it? Because sometimes they refer to Jesus as God. And when he's referred to as a son of God, and sometimes referred to as being God. I just don't understand that. No. Yeah, I agree. I agree with what you say. Yeah. Well, you know that the Shroud of Turin has proved to be a hoax? That's not the face of Jesus on the Shroud of Turin. They've given it some tests, and it just doesn't date back to the time of the crucifixion of Christ. No, that's true, he didn't, but sometimes you will see writings where someone will say that God is Jesus and Jesus is God. But yes, there's no doubt in my mind that Jesus is an historical figure, but I think again a lot has been lost in the translation. Yes, he existed all right, but whether he was the Son of God, I don't know. Maybe he was an extraterrestrial. But I'm not going to get into it because these are sort of debates you can't win or lose. You know, you just agree to disagree. Do you? Yeah. Well, I also tell you this, Lyndon. I think the resurrection was a hoax. I don't think Jesus was resurrected at all after 3 days. No. Yes. Well, I don't know. You get an argument there too. I'm with you there, Tiff. I believe in evolution. I think evolution and Charles Darwin's theories are correct, but some don't. And again, it's just a matter of opinion. Everything is evolving. We are evolving as a race. We will continue to evolve until we obliterate each other, and then the Earth will be back to what it was before we came onto it, before we ever existed. Maybe the dinosaurs will come back again. Because there's no doubt in my mind that what you saw in Jurassic Park, you can bet in some little laboratory somewhere, there is someone or many someone's trying to replicate it. They're thinking, maybe we could do that. But do we really want to see dinosaurs resurrected? I don't know. As far as a movie goes, it's fantastic viewing, fantastic entertainment. But who knows what's going to happen in the future? No one can predict the future. No, there's only today. Live your life one day at a time, my friend, just like I do. You know, I was saying on an earlier broadcast that I'm thinking of changing my YouTube channel to what I upload. I'm going to start making short films because I've had more luck with short films. Oh, I agree, Lyndon. Absolutely. Be more fluid. Be one. Be one. Be like Bruce Lee said, be like water. Flow like water. I was a big Bruce Lee fan. I couldn't believe it when I read that he died at 32, one of the fittest men in the world. He died at 32, I remember it. Remember it vividly. Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, it's a bit like Nostradamus and his predictions and that. I think it's all to do with the translation. It's what you want to believe. And yes, he was a great guy. And it was such a shame that he died so young. Incredible man, one of the fittest men in the world. Of course, all that you saw in his movies was well rehearsed, you know. But I think he actually thought he was as good off-screen as he was on-screen as he was off-screen. Be like water, my friend. Yes. Yes. You put water in a cup, it becomes part of the cup. How true. But you see, most humans are so caught up with stress and other tensions of day-to-day life that it's hard, unless you meditate, to become like water, to become fluid. Oh, some people achieve it, certainly. But I can sort of meditate. I can go and sort of put myself in another place, a favourite place, particularly when I'm sitting in the dentist chair. I'm not afraid of the dentist, but when I'm lying back there, I just close my eyes and I just think of a favourite place. And sometimes I can totally lose myself, and the dentist will say, "Hey, okay, John, you can sit." Oh, what? Oh, okay. Right. Water can flow, water can crash. Yes, it will mould itself into anything, into any shape or form. Absolutely. And there's no holding back the tide. Favourite place would be Texas. What do you mean, Chris? Favourite place would be Texas. Right? Nothing stopping you, Lyndon. Go for it. You can get into meditation. Yeah. That's why a lot of people study martial arts, because it teaches them control, and it teaches them discipline. I know there are those who go there to learn how to bash up other people, but the sensei of the dojo will quickly sort those out and get rid of them quick smart, because they're not, they don't want to teach them just for that. They want to teach them discipline, as long as exercise and self-defense. I've self-published. I've self-published three of my books, and I've shown this before. Here's one here. It's Aggravation. It's available on CreateSpace, and it's 512 pages and just over 133,000 words. And I did self-publish 2 others, but I pulled the plug on Amazon Kindle, and they're just available on my website now. I upload to people's email address if they're interested. And I said this on a previous broadcast too, that if any of you watching want to go to my website, and I normally sell them for 99 cents, but I will give them to you free if you want to upload them to your iPhone or iPad. Just go to my website, johnsbooksasp.com.au. You can read the blurbs, and if you want one, just send me an email with your email address, and I will send it to you free of charge. So yes, one's called Aggravation. There's another called Henry Talbot's Book of Yesterdays, which may be printed very shortly. Now, Amazon Kindle, you see, the problem, Lyndon, is that there's about 700,000 other self-published authors on Amazon Kindle, and you just become one of those. And very few people sell many books on Amazon Kindle. You see, I sold a few of my books, but because my royalty was less than $100, I didn't get it. So Amazon Kindle can't lose. See, unless you have a royalty of over $100, I'll say $100 or more, you don't get the royalty. It's the same with YouTube. Unless you earn $100 or more, YouTube won't send you the IDK. What is IDK? Kid? E-books. Well, there's plenty of others out there. I think there's Lulu. Just get onto Google and you don't know. I don't understand you, Tiff. You talk in riddles sometimes. You said, I wrote a book too, IDK, if you heard of it. Are you having a go at me? No, Lyndon, there's a lot. Get onto Google and oh, thank you. Good on you. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Tiff. Appreciate it. And what is your book about, Lyndon? Is it fiction? Fantasy? Yes, I know Miss Little Murder is here, all right. They don't have to keep bringing that up. No, I like having her. She's fun. No, she's good. It's fiction. And have you got a title? Excuse me. Would you tell me the title, please, or would you rather keep it to yourself? I would understand if you prefer not to say much about it. That's fine. Hostile life. Has that got something to do with extraterrestrials or being on a hostile planet, another planet, for instance? Or maybe you could just be writing about Earth because... Oh, you're good, Tiff. You're good. You've really got a terrific sense of humour. No, it's science fiction, yeah. And is it set on another planet, or is it set on planet Earth? Yeah, if you're laughing at Miss Little Murder, she's good. I'll give it. She's very... It's not sci-fi. No, oh, it's not sci-fi. Sorry. So what is it? It's just fiction. Has it got supernatural themes, or it's just plain fiction? Or is it something you've experienced in your life that you've decided? Excuse me. Something you've experienced in your life and you've just decided to write about it and fictionalise it and just extrapolate, which means to extend it out. Yeah, that's what I do. I find that's the best way to write. All my stories about my life experiences, and I just fictionalise them and extrapolate them. Sometimes it can be just based on a sentence or right. Okay. Well, good on you. We'll keep up with it. But I'll tell you one thing, Lyndon. Writing the book is the easy part. Merchandising or selling the book's the hardest part of all. I can write a 200,000 word book. I find that easy. But that's the comedy. All right. Well, good luck with it and keep up with it. Yeah. I think everyone's got a story to tell. I think everyone, if they sat down, could write a book. I'm sure we've all got stories to tell. But most people think it's difficult, but it's not. And it doesn't matter whether you're good at English or grammar, because you'll learn as you go. You do. You can only learn by experiencing things, and if you make mistakes, you learn from those mistakes. Stand-up comedy too, eh? Well, good for you. Have you done so before a live audience? I've done some comedy on my YouTube videos. I could do it in front of a live audience. I'm sure I could. Get smaller audiences. Well, I'm not afraid to talk in front of a loud congregation of people, if you will. 300, wow. And were your knees knocking? Were you very nervous? You didn't by chance go on Britain's Got Talent? Yeah, I bet it was scary. Yeah. I had a word of advice many, many years ago when talking in front of an audience or doing anything in front of an audience. Is just imagine they're all naked. And that'll calm you down. Yeah. That's good bit of advice. And just think, oh, here we go. Here we go. Let it rip there, Tiff. Let it go. Oh, look, you'll have to excuse me for a minute. I've desperately got to go. Just a sec. I've got to definitely go. please accept my apology for that, but when you get to be my age, when the urge to urinate comes at times, it's a matter of some urgency, and I just got to go. So please accept my apology for deserting the chair. Now, what do you call a black swimmer? Alright. Alright, what do you call a black swimmer, please? Kid, please. Black swimmer. I've got no idea. A black swimmer. No, I couldn't guess. Oh God, good one. I'll give you that one. But I'm not a racist. No arms and legs. I'm not even going to try and guess. What do you call a man in the ocean with no arms and legs? Bob. Ah, strike. Look, I think I must be tired, and I'm not surprising. It's I've been on this broadcast for an hour and 12 minutes, and it's gone really quickly. Now I might have to call it a night. I've got to have an early night tonight. I've got some business to take care of tomorrow early. Nothing serious, just some business to take care of. And Bob. Yes, I'm going to go. Sleep well. Yes, Lyndon, sleep well. I'm sure I will. I've been having too many late nights. I've been sitting up to 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and it's no good. It's been great meeting you too, and it's always great to have Texas 18 and Tiff and Miss Little Murder along. She's great. I always like having her along, and because I really enjoy doing these broadcasts. And I'm going to make that video. I will upload that video. I will record that video and show you how to correctly put a link to a YouTube video. And yes, it's very simple once you know, but it's the same with everything. Once you know, it's always simple. All right. I'm going to have to go. All right. Look, thank you all for watching. No, I do not believe in God. I'm an atheist. With that said, I'm going to say thank you again for watching, and have a good night, everyone. Night, Chris. Have a good one, my friend, and a good one to all. Bye, Tiff. Bye. Great to have you along again. See you next time. So long, folks.